Okay, cool.
Awesome. So it's Jen, the Gen X nerd here with an update on the Hunt for Ben Solo stats. As you know, we have extensive social media and a beautiful website. And I'm here tonight to talk about all of the things that have been going on with two of our dedicated fans. Before we get into some of that history, I'd like to introduce you to those fans. One of them who we have today is April. Hi, April.
Hi, guys.
So glad to have you here. And April was recently recognized with one of our newest campaign activities, which is the Fan of the Week. April, you mind sharing a little bit about what you do that probably got you noticed?
Oh, gosh, I don't know. Well, usually my main job on the campaign is a social media booster, so I'm constantly going on all the socials, like doing hashtag the hunt for Ben Solo. So I'm thinking everybody appreciated me going to all the socials, trying to recognize people on those sites, and I try to support everybody's YouTubes. I go on the YouTubes constantly trying to support people's projects that I believe in, which is everybody. So maybe it was because of that, I think.
I agree. You are a highly dedicated individual, and it never takes me long to find something because you've always got a like on it already, which I love. Thank you for your responsiveness and your attention to detail when it comes to making sure that the best stuff gets featured on all of the socials. So we have launched a Fan of the Week initiative, and we just want to take the opportunity to recognize the lovely people who are engaged in the Hunt for Ben Solo fan campaign. If you'd like to recognize someone with the Fan of the Week award, you can nominate them via the link in the description box below. I'm also joined tonight by Yeet, who manages our Tumblr community and also volunteers extensively behind the scenes in our Discord community. He has a YouTube channel, which is currently focusing on the hunt for Ben Solo, and he's been watching the Disney leadership change closely. Welcome, Yeet.
Hi, Jen. It's good to be back. Nice to meet you, April. Outside of Discord.
Nice.
Awesome. And Yeet, did you maybe want to say something about the leadership transition that we're about to see at Disney?
Well, as a poli-sci major, business politics is still politics. So the most important thing to note is that very early on in leadership, they're going to want to try and set their style very immediately, like establish who they are and how they're going to try and lead the group as a whole moving forward. And a lot of the time, the way they do that is they try and do something to distinguish themselves from who their predecessor was. So for Michael Eisner, he was a lot more focused on the theme parks and trying to broaden Disney's outreach by experimenting a lot, sometimes unsuccessfully. And Bob Iger, when he came in, he stuck a much more safely and closely to the brand, building up there, and then focused instead of experimenting in that regard, he focused on instead buying other pre-existing IPs like Marvel and Star Wars and Fox, and building on those to make a bit Disney a bit more of a media empire. So Josh and Dana uh, they have a lot set up in front of them right now, on account of Bob doing that. So we will see how they try and handle that. I believe that probably the safest course they're going to take, to set their business strategy is they're going to have to work to rebuild some of the brand's trust and integrity after some of the damage that it took under Chapek and lately under Bob. And I do think this benefits the Hunt for Ben Solo campaign strictly because like the hunt canceling the Hunt for Ben Solo and the subsequent news that came out about Bob's relationship with Star Wars winded up hurting Disney with a lot of Lucasfilm fans. So I think this is going to be a very easy win if they choose to take it. And knowing Josh and Dana, they're much more willing to take risks like these and push against what some might say is easy public um, backlash to something, like we saw with Dana and Jimmy Kimmel. So fingers crossed, but I'm hopeful.
Us too. Thank you. And folks, if you enjoyed that kind of analysis, I hear that the next video on Yeet's YouTube channel may include some more like that. So stay tuned for that. So, if you would like to see what's going on with regard to the Hunt for Ben Solo fan campaign, a great day of the month to do that would be the 29th, although, of course, in February, the 28th, when we host the digital rally for Ben Solo. It's a day when we'll often have something new to share, or we'll be resharing recent activities for everyone to enjoy again. We also encourage Disney Corporation to let me try that again. We also encourage the folks at Disney courteously to reconsider the cancellation of the Hunt for Ben Solo. And we share the contact information for Disney customer service and executives to make it easier. So you've got a template email, for example, that you can forward. So we really hope to see you then. April, you're pretty active on those days.
Yes, I am. It's just important for everyone to go on your socials. Make sure you put hashtag the hunt for Ben Solo on your social, get it spreaded. Talk to your friends, your family, spread the word about our campaign. Also, we want to push the petition through the digital campaign, try to get the numbers out there to know that this movie has support. So it's really important.
Absolutely. Thanks for that. Yes. And as we were talking about the change in leadership at Disney, something that we heard from Kathleen Kennedy about the Hunt for Ben Solo was that anything's possible if someone's willing to take a risk. And Josh has said he's a risk taker. So let's, cross our fingers that he continues to get the message from fans of Ben Solo that this is a good risk. This is a one he can take. Anything else anyone wants to add?
Yeah, not only put hashtag the hunt for Ben Solo, go ahead and put hashtag take risk. That's important. We want to get that message. It's okay to take risks, Dana and Josh.
We also run online events where you can chat with people all around the world who are also fans of Ben Solo. We're working our way through the filmographies of Adam Driver and Steven Soderbergh, two artists who we all appreciate. And of course, we're slated to star and direct the film. February is Marriage Story, which of course won an Oscar and was nominated for a bunch of Oscars. And March will feature Ocean's 11, hosted by yours truly.
Yeah, my sister and I will be hosting we'll be hosting the watch party for Ocean's 11. We're really excited. Please watch out. We're going to put out a promo, a little video blurb about that watch party. So look out for that. I'm really excited.
I'm excited too. Such a good movie. That'll be awesome. All right. Okay.
We also do in-person events sometimes. For example, folks in the Southwest met up at a movie theater to appreciate Adam Driver's new film with a director who has worked with him in the past on stuff like The Dead Don't Die. And we do a lot of these to emphasize both how much we would like to see him more in Star Wars and also to show support to all the other fans and show them like just how present we are and all over the place. So you can find all of our events at savedbensolo.com and on our socials. There will be links to those. I'm pretty sure in the video, there's always links to those in the videos. And I can safely say, please show up to them. As a guy who went to uh, manage the one that we tried to do in Orlando, trust me, it's fun. It's fun.
Thank you. I can't wait. I'm really looking forward to getting to a meetup. There aren't as many in Canada. It's the downside of living in Hoth. It's not a hot destination, but I can't wait to finally meet up with some fans.
That's true
Awesome.
in the Tatooine of Arizona as well.
Our website got a big bump when one of our members managed to get the attention of a popular online magazine, IGN, link in the description box below in case you didn't see the article. Bree very kindly ensured that they provided our URL, savebensolo.com, and you can see on our traction graph that we got 2,000 or 3,000 hits in 2 days, which was way above the usual amount of traffic on our website. And those hits translated into several hundred new signatures on the petition at change.org, which is asking Disney to re-greenlight The Hunt for Ben Solo. At the end of November, you might remember that we were at about 6,500, and we're now getting close to the 8,000 mark. So this is a story that people have not forgotten about. Isn't that amazing for our website?
Definitely.
It is very amazing, especially with regards to how young the campaign still is. Great work.
Yes,
Yes,
definitely. Just
absolutely.
want to thank Bree
October,
for all her work too.
Bree is awesome.
absolutely.
She's
She
amazing.
is. Absolutely.
She,
So you're hearing us gush about people that you've never heard of, so let us encourage you to join the Discord community and meet the fabulous people that we're talking about.
they are
We'll
very
So
pump up your
fun.
egos if you need it.
absolutely. So the other thing that's actually really cool about what we learned about the website traffic is that we are reaching audiences that are well beyond our usual reach. Yeet, would you like to maybe talk about where we discovered we had traffic after the most recent bump on our website?
All right. Well, firstly, it's important to note we have reached every inhabited continent except for Africa with our missing posters. Uh, any South African, Egyptian, Morocco, or Ni people in Nigeria. Basically, if you live in Africa, feel free to send us a photo of a copy of one of the missing posters you have if you are able to get any. We would really love it to complete our map. Uh, Now, as for where we have managed to reach, according to Google Map data's, just in terms of internet traffic, we have officially reached almost. We've actually officially reached almost every continent there.
There were a couple of hits in
Just
South Africa, right? The darker color means there were a few hits from there, which was like, wow.
yeah, it's really impressive, and I'm very, very proud because like that's people from all over the world, even in places where like for some of them it might be much more difficult just to get a printed missing poster to take a photo of or to just access the Hunt for Ben Solo in the digital landscape than it is for people say in like Canada or Mexico or United Kingdom or Sweden. Like we've hit a lot of places this campaign has, and we reached a lot more people than I think many people who may try and say we aren't as big as another fan campaign. We have our reach. We have a big enough audience. It's really impressive, and I'm really proud of everyone.
Yes, absolutely. And in only 3 months, we're global. Amazing. We provided an unintentional farewell gift for Bob Iger. It took us a few months, and coincidentally released it the same week as his retirement. It was truly an accident. We assembled a fun "Give This to Kevin" kind of video in which we passed one of our missing posters around the world, saying "Give this to Bob" or "Give this to Kevin," all the way to Disney headquarters in Burbank, California, and it got great views. In fact, after only 36 hours, it had about 3,400 views, and it's still getting likes on our Instagram channel. Fantastic stuff. What did you think about the "Give It to Bob" or "Give This to Kevin" video?
Oh, I loved it. It was amazing. I just thought it was wonderful. It was great. Just remind me of my childhood all over again. I hope Bob's hearing us now.
Also, just fantastic job for everyone who was a part of that
Oh,
video.
yeah,
Like
definitely.
Absolutely.
the
Definitely.
amount of people that were involved, it's all as simple as just give this to, but like the amount of effort that it takes to put that all together into that video and make it feel cohesive is just really impressive, really impressive.
It was. There's a lot of planning behind the scenes. We had to discuss: are we going left to right? Are we going right to left? Which poster are we using? Folks maybe aware we have several versions depending on your preferred color scheme and so on. So it was quite the project. My favorite part was actually getting to see the faces of many of the people in our Discord community, because most of the people featured in it are people that we chat with, on a regular basis, but we don't always, get to see everybody's lovely smiles. So that I really loved that.
Yeah, I'm an introvert, really. I'm very shy, and their courage to do that video encouraged me to put myself out there too. So I really appreciate my colleagues in this campaign for making that video.
Speaking of our Instagram account, we only have 434 followers as of the time we're recording tonight. And I noticed that the reach on this video was really interesting because about 2/3 of the views were from people who do not follow our account. And to me, that says people in Star Wars fandom, science fiction fandom, are still interested in what's going on, even if they're not willing to hit the follow button or the like button. They are still quietly cheering for the hunt for Ben Solo.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I would also argue that it's not even people outside of the Star Wars fandom entirely that are stumbling upon this campaign. Like, there are plenty of people who I think this is some of their first interaction with Star Wars and possibly were their first introduction to Ben Solo as a character, which I think is really, really cool that we're able to bring people in this way, especially given like the reputation the Star Wars fandom has, whether people think it's deserved or not. Like, I think it's really just nice that people are stumbling upon the fandom and upon this character we all enjoy and want to see back uh, through this campaign, which has been run with pretty much just positive vibes all the way through. We haven't really had a mean bone in our body yet so far.
No,
Yeah,
in
that's
fact,
why I
we
love this campaign.
Me too. Didn't know what to expect when I was invited to join the Discord community, and I've been really pleasantly surprised that we're very good at taking care of each other, caring about each other, correcting each other when we're like, maybe that's not the same, positive message we want to put out in the world, and folks are open to receiving feedback on that too, which I think is pretty amazing. So if we were someone's, early introduction to Star Wars fandom, I think that would be pretty amazing, because I think we're pretty amazing. Speaking of amazing, Yeet, I'd love to go over and talk about Tumblr because I feel like you're the little community that can. In the last video, I think we only had about 25 or so followers, and we're up to how many now?
We're up to as of today when I checked, it could easily change. I'm staring at my phone, which is right next to me. We're up to 87 followers. Not counting
Yay!
87 followers who are real people. There have been a few bots I had to ban because, of course, it's the internet. Uh, but
Yeah.
it's still 87 followers, and almost all of them post consistently about the hunt for Ben Solo, which I think is fantastic. It helps that we have ongoing news to share about our activities, things people can participate in, the missing posters campaign, the Blue Milk Challenge, the fan fiction collections, the call-ins, the emails, the write-ins. Like, Tumblr has honestly been really, really good at both promoting that and also just promoting like the general love for Ben Solo and like the reason we want him back. Like, whether you're a Raylo or a general Ben Solo fan, like there's Tumblr just shows like people's passion for this character and what he brings to Star Wars. Like, we have people straight up making stuff that personally to me is better than anything put in the Louvre right now. And they're doing it purely because they love this character. And
Yeah.
I think that's just something special that like Disney's missing out tapping into that because not everyone has not every character can have the kind of passion around them that it causes fan fiction writers to create New York Times best-selling books inspired by their own fan fiction. Like, that's a
Absolutely.
that's something that like this character has something real to him. I'll talk about it in my video, but whenever I release it. Uh,
Stay
but
tuned,
yeah,
everyone.
stay tuned, everyone. And by the way, if you want to keep up to date on certain things about the Hunt for Ben Solo, as well as just to show support, sorry, uh, feel free to check out my Tumblr blog, which is the Central Florida Boy, and feel free to join the Tumblr community, the which is titled "The Campaign to Save the Hunt for Ben Solo" on Tumblr. We would very much appreciate it. We keep many general updates in there if you aren't already a part of the Discord or other parts of the community.
Fantastic. And it's your best place for, as Yeet noted, visual art and fanfic. Great place if that's your thing.
Again, better than the Louvre.
So, speaking of art, we recently completed the Blue Milk Challenge, and there were some truly excellent photos posted. I will feature some of these in the video, but I wonder if April, if I could impose on you to talk a little bit about what went into making your lovely photograph.
Oh, well, I just got some milk and I put some food coloring in it to make it blue. And I mean, it didn't take that much. It just, make it's just the key was just making the blue milk, to tell you the truth. And I posted it on a cake stand with blue around it and had fun. So
That
the
was how
key
you did
was
it. I was
the
wondering how you got
fun.
it raised. Mm.
Yeah, I used a cake stand and had like blue jewels on it. I thought that would be cute. And because of the blue butterfly theme of Ben Solo. So that's what I did.
Very nice. I did a little video. As folks know, I'm comfortable making
Oh, I
little
love doing.
videos, but this time I roped my spouse into filming me. I did that for the Kevin video as well, and my spouse was just shaking his head behind the camera as he was holding my phone. What are you doing? Because he thought it looked disgusting. But she said it was just blue food coloring, not a big deal. So TikTok is having some fun. In just 2 months, we have over 19,000 views of things that we've posted.
Wow.
I know, right? 13,000 of those viewers are new since the end of November, which is not surprising since we only discovered the hunt for Ben Solo had been a thing at the end of October. And if I understand the stats correctly, that's a lot of views. It tells me that people are interested in this film. And as we pointed out before, the age breakdown of TikTok users is in the age bracket of people with disposable income, under 30, under 35. So, Josh and Dana, welcome to the leadership of Disney. Let us please encourage you to do a proper market analysis for interest in a Ben Solo movie. I think you'll find that there is good money available for tickets and merch, and a cost-effective Soderbergh movie would probably make a solid profit. I'm just saying. Our TikTok account now has 239 followers, and that seems pretty strong for a movie that you can't see yet.
Hmm. Oh, by the way, Josh and Dana, you also have good marketing. Just saying, free marketing, free marketing for days.
Yeah.
We've been doing this before the movie ever got greenlit, apparently.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cheap, affordable marketing we will do for you.
Yeah, exactly. April and I were saying on Discord just earlier today, like there's still those people out there, the conspiracy theorists, who are like, maybe this is just a ploy by Disney to get a whole bunch of free advertising. You're being used. And I was just like, use me. It's
Yes.
fine.
Yes. I'm down for it. I'm okay with it.
Yeah. Okay. If I get to see this movie, we're in.
Yes. I don't care. Yeah,
All
that's one
right.
thing we did discuss too, Jen. We talked about that we enjoy working with each other too. That's the fun of being a part of the campaign. It's not just we want this movie to be made, but we're also making friends and we're having a good time. So that's a benefit of being a part of the campaign too. So
Yeah, the campaign honestly has been one of my favorite Star parts of the Star Wars fandom to just be a part of. And quite frankly, I think it's fantastic to see just how many people are a part of it. From whether you're young, whether you're older, whether you're original trilogy fan all the way to the sequels, whether you whether you're a college student like me or whether you're someone who quite literally works in entertainment in Hollywood, in the media networks, like writing, producing, like we have people from all branches of life, and it's spectacular.
So let's go on and talk about Reddit, because Reddit is actually, even though I'm not involved in Reddit and I had not been a Redditor, I believe is the term
Yeah.
before. I'm now on Reddit, of course, to make sure that I'm up to date there. But this is the thing I'm proudest of, because we only secured a subreddit in mid-November. So for folks who don't know, because I didn't know any of this, you have to get enough traction on your topic, which means enough upvotes. Upvotes have to significantly overwhelm downvotes for a certain length of time in order to get a subreddit in the first place. And we accomplished that in mid-November, which was actually only a month since we
Yes.
learned that the hunt for Ben Solo even existed. And so we've only been there for about 2 months, but we have 300 daily visitors. 300 on average,
Wow.
which feels like a lot of
Wow.
people who are engaging in content related to a movie that doesn't even exist yet.
Not to mention that it's on Reddit of all places. Like
Yes.
I
Yeah.
joined Reddit for this. I joined Reddit for this. That's how strong the traction is. I joined Reddit of
Yeah.
all places for this, and
Yeah.
it's amazing. Like just
Yeah. It
how
was.
big it grew in such a short amount of time. I saw people trying to gain traction, and I was like, I'll bite the bullet, I'll support. And I started going there, I started upvoting, and I just found out about the fact that we needed traction to create the subreddit in the first place. So that I just found that out now. So this feels really good. Like just going there and seeing like, oh, it's not as bad as I was thinking. Oh, there's actually a lot more people in support of us than I initially thought there was going to be on Reddit. And it's really refreshing to just it's refreshing to see that there's not as much hate, that there's not as much as aloneness when it comes to this topic, when it comes to this character, when it comes to this movie, that I think a lot more fans feel, especially when a lot of us have been out up until Adam dropped the bomb in late October, the interview.
Yeah.
It
Absolutely.
really is just it just goes to show like this is something with staying power, with relevance, with meaning, despite the last time we saw this guy on screen being 7 years ago. Oh God, I mean,
6 or 7 years. Yeah, it's been a
yeah,
while.
6 or 7 years ago. The amount of people that are going to be making fun of me for accidentally going with that meme on. Oh God,
Oh gosh.
Oh, six,
Oh
seven.
no.
it was completely
I'll
unintentional.
I'll cut it out. It's okay, Heat. I'll cut it
No,
out.
no. At this point, let it stay. At
At
this
this
point,
point,
let
leave
it
it.
stay.
Okay. But let's go back to Reddit though, because I think you've got a really good point there, Heat, because it's a nice little pocket of Reddit that we've been able to create that actually doesn't have rage bait, even though we get good traction. So folks will see the stats on the screen. We've had 340 comments in only the two-ish months that our subreddit has existed, and we've only had to remove 5. And
That's
we
great.
monitor it. I mean, we believe in free speech, but we don't tolerate, excuse me, hateful things, being posted in our spaces. And I think that's pretty amazing. It says something about the kind of people who are interested in Ben Solo's story. As you have probably heard tonight, that we have a reputation that even Daisy Ridley has heard about for being positive and courteous and kind. And I think if you ask some of us who are active on social media, we'd probably tell you that, you know what, Ben's inspiring. Like he picked love over anything else, and I think we're kind of trying to follow that model.
And he chose love.
Yeah.
That's This is important. He chose love after spending the entire last decade trying to suppress any kind of feeling of vulnerability or connection. Like he went through all that and still found it in himself to make the choice to be better and seek out that connection and pursue doing the right thing because of that love. And I think like that's just the most human, selfless thing a person can accomplish for oneself when it comes to self-improvement. Like there's there's always going to be someone out there who is going to believe in you even during times when you don't believe in yourself. I'm sorry, I'm getting emotional a bit, but there's always going to be someone out there who can make you believe that you can do all the things that you wouldn't believe you could do on your own. And Ben being able to represent that for a lot of people, especially growing up, like myself, that means a lot. It means
Yeah.
it means the world to know like you can go from the lowest point in your life to meeting someone who can just bring out the best in you without even realizing that they're doing it. That's just that's I it's there's a reason people love this character, all right? We want this movie, gosh darn it.
I'm with you
Love
there.
it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Love it.
April, any additional thoughts on why the campaign tends to be so positive? Is it been inspiration?
Definitely been inspiration, but I think too that I don't know, for some reason we just gravitated people who just don't want negativity in their lives. I don't know. I guess probably Adam promoted that too. Um, I know, like, I was really surprised when he announced that he loved the character, and it just brought me so much hope, a lot of hope. And uh and I think at this time in the world people need hope. So I hope people join our campaign if they're looking for hope in their lives, and we have a lot of good people in our group that are very supportive, and if you need that, I feel like we're here for you. So come on in, you know.
So that's where we're at. I wouldn't say there's been an explosion of people engaged in the Hunt for Ben Solo fan campaign, but there's been a slow and steady awareness and ongoing interest in this movie, which hasn't even been made yet. Let me remind you, a movie that is unmade has fans. So we're collecting those fans as we go. As you've heard, we're a very positive collection of people from all parts of the Star Wars fandom. Folks who've watched my videos before know I'm in my mid 40s. I was a fan of the OG movies growing up. And I'll be honest, I'm not a Raylo and I don't love all of the new stuff that's been made, but I'm happy that other people love it. The more Star Wars that gets made, the higher the chance there's going to be new things that I'm going to love. So the more the merrier. One thing I do know, though, I do love Ben Solo. I've blogged about why The Rise of Skywalker is actually my favorite of the sequel films. Unpopular opinion, I know. And I can't wait to see more of Han and Leia's son, rediscovering himself and redeeming himself.
Well, I like I said, I just hope everybody would want to join the campaign, not only just because we want to see this movie get made, but because they want to have fun. Like I said, we have a lot of activities, and we have fun theorizing about you know Star Wars, and we have a lot of art that's shared and artwork that's out there, and I think people should join just to have fun. And there's fun missing in life, and I think if you want to have fun in your life, join this campaign. That's what I believe.
This campaign has been like one of the most important like junction points in my life. Like I will never be the same person I was 3 months ago before Adam dropped the news and I first started the Tumblr community before I even joined the Discord. Um, and I will always always be grateful for the hard times that the community has gotten me through, and the hope that it gives me, that it reminds me of. And I'm I'm so proud of every single person who has worked on this campaign, even just a little. And the fact that it's growing so fast in such a short amount of time, like it's hard for me to put into words the kinds of joy that I feel every time I see someone new posting some more news about people reacting to the campaign, or people theorizing about how or when they're going to try and, because at this point people believe that this movie can get back up off the ground. People believe in that now, and that means more than a lot of people may give it credit for. Belief is a very powerful thing. It can do many great things, whether for good or for evil. It can make someone do fantastical things, whether it's from whether they're small or big, whether they're simply whether they're simply starting a small Tumblr community and then it growing to something like 87 members, or something as big as flying a plane over Disney headquarters in Burbank, or even something as simple as just showing a young teenage boy watching what he thinks might be the last Star Wars movie he'll see in theaters, that you can always find it in yourself to be the light that so many others can see in you.
So until we see more Ben in the movie theater, we'll be here hoping, working toward it. Because after all, remember, rebellions are built on hope.
I think it
Yes,
was
Ben?
great. I felt like he had the true heart of George Lucas. That's what George would say, I think.
I agree.
I'm very touched.
All right, are you happy with that?
I
Would you want
am.
to redo anything?
It's real.
Okay.
Two, the two of those are obviously the song videos, and now
The
this one's going to be
song.
more of an analysis one.
Okay, interesting. All right, so
Yeah, I saw your video before I did the campaign, I think.
Did you really?
Did you?
I think so. I feel like I saw his video before I knew who he was on our campaign, which was interesting.
Yeet, you're a celebrity.
Yeah.
That
That's
is
awesome.
that it feels weird.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I appreciate your husband. He's a trooper.
He is. He puts up with a
He's
lot.
awesome.
He is. I'll make sure he sees this.